Shabbat Shalom, family. It's Ty with the Intuitive Cosmic family. We're back on this wonderful Sabbath. Today we finished up Numbers chapters 34 through chapters 36. We will now be hitting into Deuteronomy, and we have been reading the Holy Bible, the King James Version. So today, me and the family will be speaking about what spoke to us most. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment and let us know. Join the discussion and add what you have to say about any of these chapters, concluding the Numbers, which is also part of the Torah, the books of Moses. Let's begin. Who would like to go first? What spoke to you the most and why?
I would like to go first. Hey guys, it's Lay. So what spoke to me was chapters of Numbers 35, verse 31. Moreover, ye shall take no satisfaction for the life of a murderer, which is guilty of death, but he shall be surely put to death. This verse in particular spoke to me because even though somebody is guilty of doing something bad or of killing somebody, does not mean that you should be happy that they are being put to death or that they are paying the punishment for what they did. So that's what that verse spoke to me.
Okay. Is there a particular reason why, or would you like to add what your thoughts are behind why the Most High is saying this as an instruction?
Because you just shouldn't be happy about yeah.
But why do you think the Most High is instructing us, not for celebratory behavior? Basically, he's saying not to be happy about this because it's obvious that maybe at some point people have been celebratory or happy about, the making it even stance. And while he's saying, yes, let's get some recourse, some recompense for this matter to be settled, but why is it that it shouldn't be a happy moment? What do you think it could be? Why?
Because it's not godlike.
You think because it's not godlike? Yeah. I think for me, it's just, at the end of the day, it's like, I've lost a lot of loved ones, and there's some of them whose, passing resulted in, guilty verdicts. And then you've got some of them out here, with my sister being one of them, where there has been so quote unquote no justice. But even the day they bring the person in, and they're found guilty and they may have to, pay life in jail, or maybe they, you in a state where you get put to death. That's not going to bring back your loved one, right? So no, the person who get, lost their life, whether someone had deemed it to be justified or not, in the manner when they did it. So when this other person ends up having to pay the price, right, for taking a life, it's not bringing back the life they took. So I think that could be the reason why. It very well may not be, but that's just what Spirit has brought me to, over time, that, at the end of the day, I've seen so many people, still hurt. They can't, go back, and they can't bring back their loved ones when they've been put to death. So seeing somebody else being put to death is really not even at that point. It's, it's the best that we got at these times at justice, but it's definitely not gonna bring back the lost life. So that's my take on it. Anybody else want to add anything in? All right, moving on. So who wants to go next? What spoke to you guys the most about Numbers chapters 34 through 36?
Hi, it's Leah. What stuck out to me was Numbers chapter 5, verse 15 and 16. These 6 cities shall be a refuge both for the children of Israel and for the stranger and for the sojourner among them, that everyone that killeth any person unaware may flee thither. And if he that smiteth him with an instrument of iron, so that he die as a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. This stood out to me because basically God is giving people a place to be safe, and like where He's gonna watch over them, keep them safe and stuff, and basically giving someone who might have killed someone by accident, giving them another chance. But He's saying based on the way that you killed them, that you'll be based as a murderer, or you will not be based as a murderer.
Okay. So this is the in between kind of what we speaking about. I spoke a little bit about too, like it could be a reason why, right? We know there's people who just go out of their way, you commit murder, there was no reason, right? Then there could be somebody like a murder happened because they were protecting themselves, right?
Yeah.
Somebody else attacked them first or something was happening, and you know, it came out at the end where someone ends up losing their life, but it wasn't like they just, you know, went out to commit a murder for no reason. So it's basically saying this is a place of asylum or refuge for those who are trying to seek their case, right? Of why or if justly they committed a murder. Was it just because? Possibly, right? For some of these people, and for some of them, maybe not. Maybe they did do it for no reason or not a just enough reason. Okay, I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, like, why are some of these things coming up? Because they're kind of reminding me of, like, Leviticus, right? Because in Leviticus, we learn about the laws, and granted in Numbers and Exodus a little bit, too. It continuously speaks about the laws. You know, they'll do it a little bit in Deuteronomy as well. But I'm believing it's because they just went through a series of wars. Remember, we just finished reading a war they just came out of, right? They just had several battles back to back after coming up out of the wilderness. And so this would be a pertinent time now that they're finally getting ready to lay a foundational placement, a stable placement, should I say. And now they're about to go on about their lives, you know, dwelling with each other and maybe even those who are not a part of their lineage, or even their cultural or spiritual background. And now it's time to lay like a basis, like, hey, we're not just going to be thinking it's okay to be murdering people, because you will be held accountable, right? It's got to be a reason behind it, right? And this will be the deterrent between if you are a murderer or not. I just felt I should bring that portion up.
Hey guys, this is Rich, and what spoke to me was chapter 35, verse 25 through 28. And the congregation shall deliver the slayer out of the hand of the revenger of blood, and the congregation shall restore him to the city of his refuge, whither he was fled, and he shall abide in it unto the death of the high priest, which was anointed with the holy oil. But if the slayer shall at any time come without the border of the city of his refuge, whither he was fled, and the revenger of blood find him without the borders of the city of his refuge, and the revenger of blood kill the slayer, he shall not be guilty of blood, because he should have remained in the city of his refuge until the death of the high priest. But after the death of the high priest, the slayer shall return unto the land of his possession. The reason why this spoke to me is because it's talking about if you should go out of your possession of your land, and you should go to the land where a high priest resides, then you so if you go to a land where a high priest resides, then you will have to stay there until the high priest dies. Then that's when you'll be able to go back to your land, your refuge.
Okay, what do you think the high priest, represents for this person who's fleeing, or this person who is seeking refuge from becoming a slayer of another person?
He's like the protection from
The protection from what?
From the Revenger of blood.
Okay. All right. So what spoke to me, guys, the most was in Numbers 35, verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. 34. Defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell, for I, the Lord, dwell among the children of Israel. This is so important because for me, this spoke to not only the present times, but what God already knew was going to happen in the latter. And that reminds me of now, the present moment. And so, it's a lot of pollution, right? It's a lot of defiling of lands. And the Lord is basically saying the only way it's going to be cleansed is by the person who shed that blood. And it's saying, and very specifically, I, the Lord, dwell among the children of Israel. So this doesn't pertain to everyone. This pertains to the children of Israel. Correct? So that's what I gathered from that. That spoke to me a lot of. What spoke to me too was in chapter 36. It goes back into the inheritance of daughters, which is also in chapters 27. And then it goes on to speak about how the inheritance passes on from one family to another in the tribes, and basically saying that no matter if they marry into, the other tribe, or however the tribe is received, that their inheritance is not leaving them. Okay, so I believe that was a really important part for me as well, family. And we're going to start trying to do 2 parts here moving forward, where we do a Friday session and a Saturday Sabbath session. But we have been, like I said, we recently moved from one state to another. We just started getting settled in, and I'm gonna be honest, family, Spirit is directing us in another direction. I will be having a podcast coming out soon where I will be going live, and I will be speaking more on some of the things that are going on in the community, and a lot of the challenges and the overcoming of the challenges that face those of us who are light workers, those of us who are in the community speaking out and speaking the word, so that a lot of that will be being published, will be found on both my YouTube page. You will find it on my Patreon, and I'm debating if I will be going to Rumble platform, or if I'll be finding another platform that I think will, suffice for this podcast. But it definitely will be on YouTube. It will also transition on into Patreon, and I am still figuring out the third and final platform where this podcast, I shouldn't say final, but the other one that I will predominantly promote it on. It might be a form of Apple's podcast. I have to continue on doing my research in that, family. But as always, nothing but peace, love, and blessings to you all. Happy Sabbath. Join the discussion. Like, share, and subscribe. And continue to bless and praise and keep the law of the Most High God.